Prepare yourselves, because today we are going to take a deep spiritual journey from the past into the future. My mission is to change the way the world learns English. And one of the really important things we need to change is that most people hate studying English. In fact, even people who say they love studying English hate studying English. So, what is the solution to this problem? Well, part of the solution comes from this man, Carl Rogers, one of the most influential psychologists to have ever lived. He spent his whole life trying to help people, but he realized that he could only help people if they had 5 characteristics. And one of those characteristics was that they were in a state of incongruence. Basically, they had anxiety or stress or conflict. And that was important because if they had anxiety or stress or conflict, it meant that they recognized there was something wrong that needed to be fixed. Basically, you can't help someone if they don't think there's a problem. Now, the same thing is true of your language learning, of your English studying. Now, if you hate studying English, thinking about your conflict, your anxiety is easy. You hate it because you have a bad teacher, or because you're just not interested in languages. But maybe you're saying that you love languages, but then you never actually sit down and study English. You never actually have a conversation. You never actually look forward to sitting down and doing something with your language. Now, let's just take a moment to reflect. And think about if we do have any hidden anxieties about learning English. Think about discovering them, identifying them, and trying to understand where they come from. To help you understand, I am going to tell you a Zen koan. Zen koans are stories learned by Zen monks to help them find enlightenment. So, the story is that one day 2 monks were walking through the country and they came across a river. And standing in front of the river was a beautiful young lady. And she says to the monks, "I need to cross the river, but I can't because I'm going to get my shoes dirty." Now, Zen monks are not allowed to have contact with women. But without hesitation, the second monk picks up the lady and carries her across the river, puts her down, and continues walking. Now, the first monk, he can't believe it. He's shocked. But he continues walking with his friend, and walking and thinking and walking and thinking, and eventually he can't stand it anymore. He turns to the second monk and says, "Why did you pick up that girl? You know that we are not allowed to have contact with women. I can't believe you did that." And the second monk replies, "Well, I picked up the girl and I carried her across the river and I put her down. But you are still carrying her now." The moral of the story is that we can carry things physically, but we can also carry things in our minds, things that make us unhappy. And in order to find enlightenment, we need to let go. So now that you've reflected about whatever it is, conscious or subconscious, that you hate about studying English, it's time to let it go. Those terrible language classes that you had at school, let it go. The idea that language is grammar, let it go. The idea that you need to pay for that teacher or pay for that course or get that certificate to have fluency, let it go. Your fear of making mistakes, let it go. The idea that if you're having fun, you're not really learning, let it go. And once you've let all of those things go, now we can start to look to the future. So here's something really important to remember. Learning a language is really, 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 really hard. So you have to have really solid motivation. And the best way to be motivated is to have a clear objective. Now, there's something which is really important to realize. The future you who has achieved those objectives, is the same you as now. You now have to put in all of the hard work to be you in the future. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to this website and I want you to write a letter to yourself in the future. It could be for 3 months from now, 1 year from now, 5 years from now, and write down some clear objectives about what you want from your language. And once you've done that, once you've set some clear objectives for yourself in the future, and you have rid yourself of your anxiety about learning English, you will be amazed at how quickly you can progress with your language. Well, I hope you found this class interesting, and I really hope that it helps you to enjoy learning English from this day forward. I'm Christian, this is Canguro English. I'll see you in class. Oh, my knees. Oh my God.